Bomba.
Year 2000, unions getting stronger. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, the sound came to be a continuity from the ashes of the old. This wisdom is gold. Brothers and sisters, it's time to look around. If we don't come master, we'll be driven to the ground.
It's a new millennium, new piece of history. All the workers come together, it's time for unity. While the rich just get richer, the poor keep on giving.
Hi, my name's Matt Davenport, and we're at Queen of John here in Toronto. We're interviewing and surveying people's attitudes, young people's attitudes towards unions.
Camera or you?
Sure, look at the camera, look at me, I don't care.
Alright.
Basically, have you ever been involved in an organization that's been represented by a union?
No.
No?
No.
Do you know anything about unions?
I can't say I know too much about
No.
you.
Do you feel that they target youth at all, or they have a lack of targeting youth?
The unions?
Yeah. Like,
I don't think so. Actually, I don't know too much about unions.
Right.
Like I just work at the summer camp. We don't have too much of a union there.
right.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, as a young person, how do you feel unions benefit you?
Well, they do. Well, I'm in a union. It's the Ontario Nurses Association, so they're like the regulating body. Basically, they just regulate like our rate of pay, and they stick up for us and things like that. So
Do you feel that it's needed?
definitely, yeah.
Definitely?
Oh, yeah.
What about people who say that they're not needed in the workplace anymore?
Well, I suppose it really depends on the type of job that you have, but for job security and everything like that, I think it is really important.
What about young people in general? Should they be unionized, or is this a thing for older people?
Well, I guess for like young people that are out of school, when they're first starting out in the workforce, I guess it's important. But I mean, even when you're in a part-time job, because you're not really planning on staying with that job, then I don't think it's that important in that case. But if you're full-time and if that's like going to be your career choice, then I think it's important no matter what your age is.
Okay, do you know anything about unions?
Not too much, just a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Why do you feel you don't know anything about unions?
Because I'm not really in the workforce yet. I just graduated from high school, so.
Now that you've graduated from high school, don't you feel that this union, this idea of unions may be beneficial to you?
Yes and no. I mean, it has like a lot of benefits, but I know that in the school board, we had a couple problems with teachers who, because of unions, couldn't be fired, and they weren't the best of teachers. So I know that it can prohibit certain things from happening.
Have you ever heard of unions?
Yes.
Do you know what they are?
Something to do with jobs.
Something to do with jobs? Do you feel that they benefit young people?
Yes.
Or, yeah? And how so?
All I know is that they kind of help out young people if they're something's going wrong with their job. They're kind of help them out, get them fair stuff with their job. I don't really know.
Do you know of any unions? Actual? No?
My sister works at Loblaws,
Right.
and it's unionized, and she gets a lot of benefits. And I work at a restaurant, and it's not unionized, and I have to work like overtime. I don't get overtime pay and a lot of shit like that, and I have to put up with that.
Right. So you think young people should be more involved with unions?
Yes.
Things like that, and demand them in the workplace, start organizing them, things like that? Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Day after day, we have to keep it going. Year after year, the union keeps growing.
You ready?
Yeah, good.
Okay, so what do you feel as young people unions do for you?
Well, basically as of the 20th, we're not going to be working anymore, so we're not getting paid for 2 weeks we could have used for school.
Right, you're going on strike.
Yeah, right. You don't have a choice on it because the union says you go on strike, you go on strike.
Right, and what do you feel about that? The reason they're doing that collective bargaining, try to gain some power.
Yeah,
So they haven't had a raise in like 10 years, 7, 8 years, something like that, I don't know. And like, that's what they're going for.
Yeah, for us it doesn't affect us.
It doesn't really benefit us because we're just summer students, but we miss out on like 2 weeks pay, which is a lot of money just going back to university.
Okay, as young people, do you feel unions benefit you?
Unions benefit me as a young person?
Yeah.
In my particular experience, no. But I think that unions are beneficial to young people in general.
I mean, why is that?
Because unions provide opportunity for young people who are likely to be oppressed because we are a minority in society in their workforce to sort of have a voice and be represented effectively. The problem I find though is that unions in a lot of cases nowadays are being used by not necessarily young people but by adults for things that really to me don't seem to be the meaning of a union, and I've become far too politicized and not enough about representing the voice of their constituents or their membership, and more interested in being politically active.
Do you work?
Yes.
Okay. Now, unionized jobs, non-unionized jobs, any preference to you?
No, I wouldn't say I have a preference. I think for me it would depend primarily on the type of work I was getting, and not on whether it was unionized or non-unionized. So that wouldn't factor in my decision to take a job or not, or work in a particular place.
What about added benefits, job security, increased wages?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now that wouldn't go into your consideration for unionized, non-unionized?
Oh yeah, well, I guess because I'm self-employed, I tend to put the emphasis more on gratification from my work. I work in the arts, and so traditionally the salaries in the arts, the money that's made by people employed in the arts tends to be lower than if you're working outside of the arts. So I would say that if I were in like in the industrial sector, well then yes, of course, those type of things would matter.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
How about you bite me and just turn off the damn tap? Thanks.
Yeah, hey,
You're not filming us, are you?
As young people, do you feel that unions are needed in the workplace, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, things like that?
I do.
Yeah?
Because you need to be covered in case of an emergency. And it's not fair for people to take advantage of their workers.
Right.
So you need unions to kind of regulate rules.
Right. What do you think it would take to get leaders, union leaders, to get young people more involved?
Talk to us and you need unions in places like McDonald's for where kids are working. Like McDonald's has one union, and that's somewhere way up north.
Right.
So.
Give the young people the experience. Once they get the experience and realize what it's like and realize the benefits that they are obtaining, then they'll be more likely to go on to other jobs and request a union and put forth effort into that.
Let's just say, though, that you had the choice between a unionized and a non-unionized job. What would you choose?
Unionized.
Why is that?
Because of the rights. I think that it does give you more power against the workplace.
Okay. So now, even though you said, you're not looking for future employment, you're just looking for something temporary, you would say that you would be rather better off with a unionized job.
Yes. Yeah.
Union makes us strong. All working people, it's time to come together. Our union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. All working people, it's time to come together. Our union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. All working people, it's time to come together. Our union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. All working people, it's time to come together.
Driving all the nation and exploitation. Yes, we gotta pull together, brothers and sisters. Yo, it's time for coordination.
To our sisters and the brothers, we can make a union strong. For respect and equal value, we have done without the law. We no longer have to tolerate injustices and wrong. Solidarity forever, yes, the union makes us strong. We're the ones who run the show, just let everybody know. With our brains and our muscle, this is how we get hustle. Solidarity forever, kick it to the people. Always keep it real, yes, always keep it simple. There's no time for politicking, the clock keeps on ticking. We have to organize, open our eyes. It's time to see the truth, it's reality. We have to make it solid, it's time for unity. All working people, it's time to come together. Our union makes us strong, solidarity forever. All working people, it's time to come together. Our union makes us strong, solidarity forever. All working people, it's time to come together. Our union makes us strong, solidarity forever. All working people, it's time to come together. Our union makes us strong, solidarity forever.
Yo, the sound came to be a continuity from the ashes of the old. This wisdom is gold. Brothers and sisters, it's time to look around.